Hello and welcome to your Halloween yoga class. My name is Maria and today I will be guiding you through a hip opening and leg strengthening Halloween inspired spooky yoga class. All you're going to need today is a mat and a space to practice on. This flow is for all levels. I'll be offering various modifications so that you can align to what energy you're feeling or to whatever level you're at today. I'll meet you on the mat. Come to a lying down position. Once you're there, comfortably snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your heart space. Maybe allow your palms to rest beside you, palms facing up. And then option to lift the heels here, lift the legs straight up for waterfall pose or legs up the wall pose. If you'd like to do this near a wall, feel free to just scoot over near a wall and align your sitting bones right up against the wall and allow your legs to just rest on the wall for a little bit of support. Your sitting bones don't actually have to be on the wall. They can be a little bit farther away just to make it a little bit easier as well. Notice how your body's feeling just for a moment before we start. Feel free to circle the ankles if you feel like moving, but if you want to be in stillness, feel free to just stay still, legs still, focusing on your breath. And then even if you are moving, let's bring that focus to the breath as well. Start to feel and maybe bring the breath in a little bit deeper than you normally do into the lower belly, filling up the low back, the entire torso. And then as you exhale, pull the ribs in, pull the navel in, let it all out. Another big, deep breath in just like that, breathing into the belly, expanding through the ribs, all four sides of the torso. Slowly exhaling out through the nose, pull the ribs in, engage the core, and pull the navel up towards the spine, or back towards the spine. Release that deep breathing and just return to your natural breath, but with a little bit more awareness now. Notice if you can naturally get your breath as deep as you can for the next several minutes or as long as this flow can go. Start to bend the knees, place the feet onto the ground, knees up, soles of the feet planted a few inches in front of your sitting bones or your hips, and then flip the palms to face towards the earth for a little bit of support here. Straighten out that right leg, flex the toes back towards that right knee, and then your right foot can be a little bit bent here, or your right leg can be a little bit bent here if it needs to. Take a big breath in, big breath out. On your next in-breath, slowly lower the right heel towards the earth, just as close as you can get it. Leave it hovering if you can. And then as you exhale, lift the right toes up. Lift the right leg. Inhale, lower the right heel down. Have it hover. And then exhale to lift up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift up. And then relax, release. Place that right foot onto the earth. And then we're going to extend the left foot out. Flex the left toes back. Feel free to bend that left knee. Stay here for an inhale. Big exhale. On your next in-breath, start to lower that left heel. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Try to move slowly. Imagine that you're moving through honey here, or maybe moving through water. Keep going, moving with your own breath 2 more times. It doesn't matter if you get the inhales or exhales wrong. Just try to move one on the in-breath and the other on the out-breath. And then we'll meet back up. Bend that left knee and ground that left sole of the foot onto the ground. Allow your knees to fall off to one side, and we'll push off with your upper hand, making your way to a tabletop position. Stack your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Curl the toes under so your toes are gripping the earth. Spread all 10 fingers wide like pizzas and then press down through all 10 knuckles evenly. As we start to set the base for our cat-cow. One last check is try to rotate the inner elbows towards the front of the room, so sometimes your elbows can move in and out with your hands planted. And once you're there, start to lower the ribs, lift the tailbone up, and try to lift the chest up and through the arms. Once you're here, take a big in-breath as best as you can, filling up all the areas throughout your torso, down through your hips and legs. And then as you start to exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, round through, tuck the tailbone under, round like a black cat. Inhale to drop the belly, drop the ribs, but lift the chest. Exhale to round through, black cat. Inhale to lower. Exhale, black cat. 2 more times, moving with your own breath. And then once you're ready, we'll meet in a neutral tabletop position. Feel free to come off of your wrist or your hands and come onto your fist if your wrists are getting a little bit tired, or just roll them around. And then if your knees are a little bit tired, feel free to roll your mat a few times underneath your knees. We don't need the feet to touch much, but if you'd like a little bit of support for your hands, there we go. Start to bring the left knee up. Just hover it as high as you can behind you. Lift the left heel. And then we're going to start to make circles with the left knee, trying to bring it to the left elbow, then towards center and back. Once again, towards the left elbow, towards center and back. They can be little circles, they can be big circles. And then 2 more circles, and we're going to end with the left knee towards that left shoulder, as high as you can. And then bring that left foot, step it up right next to that left hand. So we're going to come into a lizard lunge. Start to walk the hands forward, and you can heel toe and move that left foot forward as much as you need to, or lift the back knee and slide it back. You might start to feel a stretch through your right psoas, and then also that left hip as it's starting to open up. Option to stay on your hands here, or option to lower onto your elbows if that feels good. Another option, if you have the blocks, is to place the blocks in front of you so that it lifts the floor up to meet you as well. But once we're here, we're going to settle in for 2 breaths. Big inhale in, big exhale out. 1 more. Start to walk the hands back just a little bit so that we're not sinking into that right hip. Slide that left foot back, and then just try to slide the knee back so that your left knee is now meeting your right knee. We're going to start to do the same thing with the right side. Start to lift the right heel up, and we're going to do circles with the right side. They can be little circles or big. We're just going from the back to the right elbow, into center, and then back again. We're going to do 2 more. And then on that last one, we're going to meet with the right knee right by that right shoulder, and then step the right foot forward outside of that right hand. And then whether you want to move your front foot or your back foot, start to sink your hips a little closer to the ground if that feels good. Another option is to drop onto your elbows. Each side might be a little bit different. Just notice what sensations you're feeling on each side when you're feeling them. We're not going to try to compare. We're just accepting it for what it is. 1 more big inhale here. Big exhale, and then slowly start to walk your hands back or walk that left knee forward. And we're just going to slide that right foot so that right knee meets the back left knee. Tuck the back toes under, and once again, we're going to settle our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Feel free to undo the mat as we're going to be coming off of the knees shortly. On your next inhale, hover the knees just a few inches off the ground. And then as you exhale, lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. Push your shoulders back, push your ears, or settle your ears in between your arms. Try to push your ribs towards your thighs. Big inhale, big exhale. Start to tiptoe your feet. Your knees can be bent here. Your heels don't have to be lifted. Tiptoe so that your feet meet the backs of your hands, and we're going to come into a forward fold or a sleeping bat. Option to grab opposite elbow here and rock a little bit from side to side. Return to stillness. Allow your whole upper body to hang as if you were a bat asleep, just hanging from a cave. Take another big inhale. On your next exhale, slowly bend your knees and roll your upper body up. Relax your hands towards the earth. Just let them dangle as you roll yourself up, bringing your head up last. Coming into mountain pose. On your next inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Reaching up, extended mountain pose. On your exhale, bend the knees and sit into an imaginary chair, almost as if you also had a broom in between your legs that you were about to ride. Coming into chair pose or witch on a broomstick pose. Imagine that you're riding a broomstick through the air. Draw your thighs in towards one another here to hold tight to that broomstick. Option to gaze up. One more big inhale. Big exhale. Bend the elbows, bring the arms to cactus arms or scarecrow arms. From here, start to lift the chest. Maybe lower the elbows as you draw your shoulder blades back behind you. One more big inhale here. Big exhale, return to normal cactus arms, neutral spine. And then step the left foot back towards the back of the room for high lunge. Extend the arms up towards the sky, or feel free to place them on your hips if they're feeling a little bit tired. Squeeze that back left glute and then pull the right hip back, just so that both hips are in line. They're like two headlights, parallel. One more big inhale here. Big exhale, and we're going to open up with the back leg. And then very slowly bring both feet to face towards the long side of the mat. Rotate both toes to face outward and start to bend the knees, sinking into a goddess or horse pose. Circle the arms out, around, and up. Reach up, expand the ribs as you inhale. Exhale, cactus arms. One more time, big inhale, reach up. Big exhale, cactus arms. And then from here, place your hands on your hips. An option to slowly bend over, so bringing your torso almost horizontal, placing your hands on the ground. Start to heel toe your feet out a little bit more if you need a little bit more room here. And then from here, option to fold over a little bit more. Cross your right hand over your chest, or across your chest, over to the left side, and then the left hand, bring it across to the right. So it's just going to be a little bit farther apart, and start to sink your hips as best you can here. One more big inhale in. Big exhale, unravel the arms, straighten out the legs. Bring the toes to point towards the long side now instead of out, as we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. One more big inhale. And then on your next exhale, slowly either roll up or lift the torso up, straight back all the way. We're going to lift the right heel, pivot on that front foot. Same thing with the back, to face towards the front, returning to high lunge. Big inhale. Big exhale, relax the hands down by your side. Step forward. We're staying in this bent knee chair pose / witch's broomstick, or witch on a broomstick. Big inhale, big exhale, cactus arms. Lift the chest here as you inhale once more. Draw the shoulder blades back behind you. And then exhale to lift the elbows again. Step the right foot back for high lunge on the other side. And then option to lift the arms here, or once again, place them on your hips. Squeeze that back right glute. Big inhale. Big exhale. And we're going to open up with the back leg so the toes point out, heels point in. Start to bend the knees a little bit, coming into a goddess pose. Big inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Big exhale, down by your sides. Big inhale, reach the arms out, around, and up. Big exhale, cactus arms. Inhale to reach back up. Exhale, cactus arms. Place your hands on your hips. Once again, we're going to fold forward in this bent knee goddess pose, crossing one arm across and the other arm across for spider pose. Option, one more big inhale, big exhale, and then we're actually going to take the arms out to the sides, almost like a T, and then draw the shoulder blades back behind you as you start to lift, maybe feeling as if you were a flying bat. Big inhale, big exhale, straighten out the legs, bring the toes in, and then allow the arms to rest, the hands to come to the ground. Stay here for a big inhale, big exhale, place your hands on your hips and slowly lift. Rise up, wide-legged forward fold. Lift both heels and pivot on both feet so that we're facing towards the front of the mat. High lunge. Big inhale, big exhale, step forward. Keep the knees bent. Witch riding a broomstick one last time. And then on your next exhale, fold over your legs for forward fold. And then allow your head to relax. Crown of the head towards the earth. Option to grab opposite elbow here for sleeping bat. Place your hands on the earth here and heel toe your feet out. A little bit wider than hip width apart, toes pointing out, heels pointing in. And then slowly sink your hips towards the earth, maybe towards those heels. Your heels can be lifted here as your sitting bones come to meet your heels. And then heel toe your feet in or out as much as you need to. Coming into garland pose, your hands can be on the earth or they can come palms touching, Anjali Mudra. Start to lift the chest here as best as you can. Tuck the chin to lengthen through the back of the neck. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, maybe tuck the chin, lengthen through the back of the neck. One more breath in and out. And then bring your hands back behind you if you can, and start to walk your hands back until you can comfortably bring your sitting bones onto the ground, finding a seated position once again. Cross your ankles and roll over, coming onto your knees. Bring your knees together. Bring your toes to touch back behind you. Your heels can be apart. Start to sink your hips towards your heels. And then slide or glide your hands back so that they're right next to your feet. Allow your forehead to rest on the ground. Coming into pumpkin pose. Allow your shoulders to round forward. And start to tune into your breath once again. Follow the in-breaths. See if you can slow your breath down and deepen your breath at the same time. One more big inhale here. Big exhale. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and use that to help push yourself up. If your eyes are still closed, as you feel ready, allow them to blink open and rest your hands onto your lap. Try to enjoy this presence right now and also with you off of the mat today into this week. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I hope that this fun little Halloween flow inspired you to move your body or to take a moment and be present this week. Thank you so much for joining me again. May you find peace within you. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with all free new yoga classes. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this and leave me a comment and let me know how it went. I'll see you next time. Thanks again.